Subscribe to Bookworm
and press the bell icon.
Watch various interesting educational videos.
Hi friends, welcome to Bookworm. I am Shukriti Sarkar and today I will discuss transport of food and minerals in plants, which is the first chapter of class 8 biology. So let's begin. Let's see at a glance of today's topic. First, I will briefly discuss the structure and function of xylem and phloem. Next, absorption of water and minerals by osmosis and diffusion. Next, I will discuss transpiration. And lastly, macro and micronutrients and the diseases caused by the lack of these nutrients. So, what do we know by the term transport system of plants? All plants need water and nutrients that they get from the soil. All plants prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis with the help of carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll, which are carried to other parts of the plants. All these activities are carried out by the transport system of plants. The transport system is basically of two types. First one is transport of water from roots to different parts of the plants, and second one is transport of food from leaves to different parts of the plants. The tissues that conducts transport is xylem and phloem, both together called vascular system. So, let's talk about xylem. Xylem transport water and minerals from roots in only one direction. Now let's discuss the structure and function of xylem. Xylem tissue is of four types: xylem vessels, tracheas, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Vessels and tracheas both transport water and minerals to different parts of the plants, and they are the main conducting cells in xylem. Next is xylem fibers, that are the thick wall cells which provide mechanical support. And at last, xylem parenchyma, which store water, minerals and carbohydrates. Xylem parenchyma is the only living component of xylem, and others do not have living protoplasm at maturity. Unlike xylem, which is composed primarily of dead cells, the phloem is composed of living cells that transport food in only both direction, which shows major difference between xylem and phloem. Phloem consists of four elements: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers. Sieve tubes are elongated tubular cells that placed end to end, and the end walls have minute pores, which is called sieve plates, and they transport food materials. Next is companion cells, which are located on the sides of the sieve tubes, as you can see in the figure. They help the sieve tubes in the conduction of food material. Next is phloem parenchyma, which store food, and phloem fibers provide mechanical support to the plant. Now, how do plants absorb water and minerals? Plants absorb water and minerals with the help of root hairs by a process called osmosis. So now what is osmosis? Osmosis is the movement of water through a semi-permeable membrane from an area of its higher concentration to lower concentration. And semi-permeable membrane is a thin membrane that allows the movement of selected molecules to it. Mind it allows only movement of selected molecules. So let me make it quite easy so that you can understand what is meant by osmosis. See the figure below, where the concentration of sugar solution, the concentration of water is less, whereas in dilute sugar solution, the concentration of water is high. And we have already learned that the movement will be from higher concentration to lower concentration, and it is clearly shown in the figure that it will be from higher concentration to lower concentration in this direction. Similar events happens in case of absorption of water in root cells, where concentration of water in soil is higher than inside the root hair cells. Till now we have learned that how water get absorbed. Now how the movement of water in root cell occur. Let's see. See in the figure, when water get absorbed in the root hair cells, the concentration becomes higher than the adjacent cells. So by osmosis, the water get absorbed through the adjacent cells one by one. And finally, it reaches xylem tissue. And in xylem vessels, water move upwards against force of gravity. So we have the idea of absorption and movement of water in root cells. Now, its absorption of minerals in root cells. Minerals such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, nitrogen needed by plants get absorbed by the roots, which takes place by diffusion and active transport. Diffusion is the movement of salt and mineral molecules from a region of its higher concentration to a region of their lower concentration, which happens sometimes when the concentration of mineral is higher in soil than the root hair cells. But normally, mineral get absorbed by active transport, which is the movement of minerals from region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration, and it involves energy. So finally, we get to know that root hair cells absorb salt by active transport and water by osmosis. And these mineral salts get accumulated in xylem that reduce water concentration, which creates concentration gradient that draw water and mineral to stem. So now the question arises that how this movement of water in plants happens. As water is lost through transpiration, as you can see in the figure, as water is lost through transpiration, more water is absorbed as more water is required. This creates a suction pressure which pulls the water from the xylem up the stem and then to leaves. And as the amount of water gets reduced, water from the surrounding of the soil passes into the root and get absorbed, and the process continues. This upward movement of the water and minerals from the roots to aerial parts of the plants is called ascent of sap. What are the factors that affect the rate of transpiration? First one is sunlight, second one is temperature, third one is wind, and last one is humidity. And what is the importance of transpiration? First one is cooling effect, second one is ascent of sap and distribution of minerals, as I've already said, and third one is removal of excess water. It has already been discussed that plants prepare their own food during photosynthesis, and they are transported by phloem throughout the plant. This transportation is called translocation. Plants require 17 minerals for growth and development in sufficient quantities and in appropriate ratios. Minerals that are required in large quantities are macronutrients, and minerals that are required in minute quantities are minor nutrients. So when plants do not get essential nutrients, means it is lack of nutrients, they suffer deficiency diseases such as red leaf cotton due to lack of nitrogen, dwarf cotton due to lack of phosphorus, chlorosis due to lack of zinc, curling of leaf tips due to lack of potassium, and Lyme-induced chlorosis due to lack of iron. So, this is the end of the topic. Thank you friends. If you have enjoyed this video, then please like this video, and if you have any doubts and or queries, you can write in the comment section. For further and latest updates, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you.